A Indian road into Hovenweep is a little bouncy.
Turn left after 800 feet onto Indian Route 5067.
It is paved, but you gotta go slow.
You come visit Hovenweep, I would make sure you fill up with gas about every chance you get, because gas stations in this area are few and far between. Towns are few and far between also as well.
It's pretty.
It's pretty.
But it's out in the boonies. We just arrived at the Hovenweep National Monument Campground. And when you go in, there is no ranger. There are different sites, and you get to pick which site. This site happens to be right at the edge of the canyon, so it was a perfect spot. There's no neighbors to the right of us, so we could see the views, the sunset, and at night when the stars come out, it was really beautiful. So as you can see, they say what lot, and it'll say RV only if it's for RV. If it's tent, it'll say tent. So you can pretty much figure out which ones are for what you need. Then once you've set up, there is a pay station to pay for your lot located at the front of the campground. The trail from the campground is a little rugged, so it's more of a moderate type trail. It's not well marked at times. So right here is the canyon. It's called the Ruins Canyon that you can look down as you're walking to the main trail, which was a pretty view. And then from there we just kept walking. Like I said, it's about a half a mile hike to the main trail. There were areas where you had to go up and down, but there are these rocks that give you an outline of where you're supposed to be walking. And there's a better view of the rocks as we're walking through. This is the trail to the main trail. So there were some places where we had to go up and down, steeper than others. But it was pretty as far as the view. And we did it in the afternoon, so it wasn't a hot day, even though it's in the summer. It was just very comfortable. The trail that we're on from the campground is called the Ruins Trail. And it kind of kept you like on path to get to the correct trail. There were some different ways that you could go right there. So you go to the visitor center, back to the campground, or to the Ruins Trail. And that was the square tower loop trail is what the Ruins Trail was. So once you get up here, it's a little bit more defined as to where you're walking. So it is rough until you get to the main trail that goes to the visitor center, which is right here. The visitor center trail will take you out to the little ruined canyons, and there are a few benches that you can sit on if you're tired. But that part is paved from the visitor center to this point, and it's wheelchair or handicap accessible, ADA. This is the Stronghold House ruins. Across the way is the Twin Towers ruins, and this is the Little Ruin Canyon is what it's referred to. So all around the Little Ruin Canyons are structures. This is the Eroded Boulder house, that tall peaked piece that you can see there. But there's all kinds of structures as we're standing there looking around. So there's one of the benches that you can sit on. There's a zoomed in of the Twin Towers ruins that are across on the other side. And there's more structures, as you can see. There was all kinds of structures, but they're mainly located on the top of the canyon. There's a few that are down in the canyon, but most of the structures that are there are located on the top. And then as we walked around, there were some more structures. This one was the Kon Rod House, but there were a few other ones. After we got back from the hike, we had a nice little dinner, and Jonathan did a little bit of homework, and we got ready for the night stars. We also did a review of the campground. As we were walking around the campground, we found this other trail. It's a 4-mile hike that's called the Holy Ruins Trail. So there is more than one trail that you can pick from in the campground itself to see the different ruins. The ruins are somewhat unstable, some of them, so who knows what will be left in another 10 years even. Here is the bathrooms with the trash cans that had both regular trash and recyclable. The bathrooms themselves were very, very clean. There is also a place that you can get drinking water. It has a limit of 1 gallon per day. It's right there in that stone structure. I did not take a picture of the inside of the restroom because there is a big tub that you can do like a sponge bath in, and there was a person actually doing that and cleaning it up. The fee station is right over there by the ranger station, so there is a ranger, but he just doesn't like pick what lots or whatever, but there is a ranger on site, so if there is an issue. That evening we watched a beautiful sunset, and then we took pictures of the stars. I did not do the time lapse because the camera battery was running low. It is a great place to get night pictures because there is no towns nearby.
Final review of the campground here at Hovenweep. We really liked it. It has no hookups at all, like we said. It's got some really nice fire rings. This was our shelter at each campsite. There was a hike down to the ruins, which was really nice. What was really neat, and I think the reason we wanted to stay here, my son wanted to see the stars when you're really out far away from any civilization at all, and it was pretty spectacular. We got some pretty neat pictures. We woke up at 4 in the morning and we looked out then, and it was just spectacular. We didn't wake him up to take any pictures, and we probably should have, but we didn't, and it was really neat. The campground here has quiet hours, which kind of prevents you from using your generator for most of the evening, but it cooled off nicely, and actually got cool enough we had to pull the extra blanket out. So it was really nice. We would stay here again, definitely. And for $7, at a national park, you just can't be beat.